You want to talk about kicks? This is a matchup. Long, wide, rangy fighters, specifically Baghdasaryan, Southpaw. I have a lot of hype on this guy. I feel like the regular masses, though, they're saying, John Silva, you just beat up Drew Dober. You've had a couple fantastic performances. Here, you're ready for a big name. And then they give him Baghdasaryan. So, my question for you is, when you see Baghdasaryan pop up on the other side of the matchup, are you excited? Do you see a stepping stone? Because the odds makers say minus 550 for John Silva. So, in their eyes, this is just a gimme fight. What do you make of it?
No, I am excited to see this matchup, Derek, especially with the way both fighters fight, right? John Silva's a madman, like 100% finish rate or close to 100% finish rate going forward. This guy is an absolute animal, and I think a good way to be able to test his skills. And same thing for Baghdasaryan, right? If they're able to have this highlight moment, go to war, have these intricacies in how they're actually fighting, and we can see that these guys are game, both of them will be elevated. Whoever wins this fight is going to be elevated a little bit more. But if Baghdasaryan, man, he can make some moves and he can show that he's not just going to get walked down by the absolute bully, by the minus 550 favorite. This could be his moment to make things work.
Yeah, man. I mean, Baghdasaryan, he gets a massive opportunity with a big, impressive win here. I don't think so for John Silva, though, man. I think if you win, you must finish him, right? A decision against Baghdasaryan. I think people are going to be a little down on his stock if that happens. And if you lose, it's like, dog, you lost to who? Most of the people probably don't even know this guy's on the roster, which is the sad part. But this is a very, very skilled Armenian fighter, who I think is definitely in a position to make this an interesting fight. So let's talk about the X's and O's, man. Clearly, like I said, John Silva, I mean, look at him, man. Knockout, even money for a knockout on John Silva, bet 100, win 100, plus 700 for a sub, and plus 200 for points. So I actually like this. This is the unpopular opinion that I was going to bring up here, but based on Baghdasaryan's style as a counter-striker, it matches John Silva as a counter-striker. So they're both counter-strikers looking to counter-strike each other. So I think that this could actually lead to a little bit of a dud-style fight that's going to be hard to find a finish. So I'm actually liking that the odds makers are saying plus 200 for the points right there. I wish it was more value, but I think that their thinking is correct here.
Yeah, no, I do think their thought process tracks right here, Derek, especially if you're a counter striker fighting a counter striker, somebody has to go first, or we have Izzy versus Yoel Romero again, and nobody wants to see that happening, right? I do think, though, with the style John Silva presents, he's willing to go out and throw a couple, to eat a couple, to then hit you even harder going forward. We saw that in his last fight, or not the one against Dober, but the one against Jourdain, right? He's willing to sit in the pocket. He's willing to go through the exchanges. But if you're Melsik Baghdasaryan, you need to be able to deliver those. And then once he counterstrikes after your counterstrike, you need to go back again and be willing to engage again, because that's where you're going to find a lot of success.
And let's not forget, man, how big lightweight, 155 pounds. This is 145 right here. That was a big performance right here. So for him to be able to take a couple of those shots against, even the bigger guys, I know you were talking about Jourdain, but even against the bigger guys and still go in there, cut them up, make them nasty, you have to imagine, Baghdasaryan, if you don't tread carefully, you'll be in a similar position. Now, let's talk about the grappling here. Baghdasaryan, one major flaw, one major hole in his game is just takedown, man. Tucker Lutz was able to hold him down for a very substantial amount of time. And no disrespect, but John Silva, Tucker Lutz, not quite the same level of competition, if you will. So do you see John Silva mix it up and try to go for the sub here?
No, I don't. I think it'd be a smart play. I think it'd be a good thing to do. But I do think the way that John Silva fights, he likes it. He's a wild man. He's willing to go in there and just either die on your shield or you get your hand raised. And I do think we're going to look to see John Silva wanting to have another highlight reel added to his pedigree and then move forward, keep climbing those ranks. Because you're right, he has to finish Baghdasaryan in this fight at these odds, or we're never going to see him at these odds ever again.
Yeah, I would say 4 of his last 5 fights, or they're all knockouts, right? And most of them come pretty early. But again, I just think that the style of the fight right here, Baghdasaryan really has to indulge Silva in order to kind of help him find that finish. And I just don't see it happening here. I think it's a good win. I don't want to say a layup because I'm disrespecting a fighter that I actually really enjoy watching in Baghdasaryan, but let's just say big opportunity. John Silva takes it. Easy consensus pick right here. But I personally, AJ, you might differ with me. I am rocking with that over 2.5 right here. And I think John Silva by points is a very fair play. Plus 200.
I like it, Derek. I like it. I can see a knockout happening here, folks. I do think with the way they're going to engage, it could be a longer style of fight, so the over makes a lot of sense. But with 2 absolute bangers in there, I mean, I could see a knockout happening as well.